All right. How are you supposed to start these videos? Something with like a big sigh or something, right? Or like you're supposed to say something along the lines of, you know, this isn't the video that I wanted to make today. Yeah, I think I'll go with that one. All right, let's take 40. What's going on, everyone? You're watching RD Motoring, and this is not the video that I wanted to make today. So 2 days after, literally 2 days after purchasing my 08 Corvette, it broke on me. So let me tell you about how this all happened. So I was driving it to get inspected. I left early in the morning. I wanted to be one of the first ones to the inspection station just to get it early done out of the way. And I'm honestly not even 5 minutes from the house. I'm coming up onto a right-hand turn to get onto the highway, slowing down. I press the clutch pedal in to downshift, and it just springs right to the floor. So at that point, immediately I know something's wrong. I'm able to slow down enough, get onto the highway. As I'm coming on the on-ramp, I reach down, pull the clutch pedal up. It springs back into place, but anytime I put more pressure on it to upshift, downshift, whatever, it just slams right to the floor. No clutch engagement at all. The pedal just doesn't seem like it's even connected to the car. So at first I thought this might have been the assist spring to it. Looking back on it now, I know it seems kind of silly because it wouldn't be holding to the floor, holding up if the spring was in fact broken, but I honestly had no clue what was happening at the time, and it was pretty nerve-wracking. Now I'm driving down the highway in 4th gear, have absolutely no clutch pedal, and I'm just looking for a place to pull off on the side of the road. So I find a pretty big pull-off. There's actually a service road that goes down from the highway. I can get, you know, multiple feet off, 10, 15 feet off the side of the road. I pull off. As I'm pulling off, I put it into neutral. I don't want to shut the car off just in case. I don't know what's going on, nothing's smoking. I don't have any error codes and anything. I don't really think it's the motor at all. It obviously has something to do with the pedal assembly. So I pull off on the side of the road, I get out, I crawl into the footwell of the car. I'm looking around the clutch pedal. I don't see anything broken, but all it's doing is just slamming back and forth, and there's really no resistance whatsoever besides just the spring. So now that I'm stopped on the side of the road, I have 2 options. I can either try to limp it home or call a tow truck. First thing I do is actually call a local towing company. They say it's gonna be about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I just don't have time for that. There's no way that's gonna work. So what I end up doing is turning the car off and trying to start it in gear to allow the starter motor to try to push the car forward. It does take a few tries, but putting it into 3rd gear, I was able to get the car rolling on the starter motor alone, build up enough revs, and eventually I can continue going down the highway. Like I said, luckily I was close to home. I only had a few right-hand turns and 1 or 2 stoplights I really had to worry about. Approaching them was very nerve-wracking. I knew if I slowed down enough or stopped, the car would stall, and it would just be a whole nother ordeal to get it going again. So any stoplights that I come up on, if I see well in advance that they're red, I just go extremely slow. The entire way home, I do have my 4-ways on. Nobody's really passing me. I'm going fairly close to the speed limit because I am in 3rd gear already, but I'm still trying to let the cars around me know that, hey, there's something wrong with this car. I really didn't come across any issues. The only time I did have an issue was at the last stoplight coming into my house. It was red as I approached it. I slowed down thinking it would turn green, but it didn't. I ended up turning into a pizzeria that was to the right of it, going through their parking lot slowly, coming out like I made a right-hand turn, following down that road a little ways and turning around in a parking lot that was down the road about a minute or so. I ended up making just a big jug handle turn to come around. That way I could just continue making right-hand turns or not, you know, blowing through an actual red light. As I get the car home, I pull it into the driveway. Like I said, all this is in 3rd gear. I'm able to get it far enough into the garage where I can just pop it into neutral, get out, and just push it forward the rest of the way. And this is where it's sat ever since. So I'll show you the clutch pedal right now. I'll show you what it's doing, and then I'll get into what I think the culprit is. So if you get in the car and look underneath in the footwell, the clutch pedal basically has no resistance and it just pulls to the floor with the assist spring. So if you even put a little bit of pressure on it, the spring will catch and it'll just go all the way down. Obviously, if you pull it back up, it'll just do the same thing and it'll stay up because of that spring. So that's basically what happened when I was driving. I pushed the clutch in to downshift. It just slammed to the floor. It obviously wasn't working. I couldn't downshift, and yeah, it really sucked. So researching the symptoms of the car and what happened, a lot of people had different answers online. It basically could have been anything from the clutch itself, the slave cylinder, the master cylinder, the throwout bearing. but I think I was able to narrow it down to the master cylinder. The reason why I say this is because there was actually a service bulletin put out for the master cylinder on these cars with the exact same symptom. Basically, you'd just be driving along and without warning, there would just be zero clutch pedal. They put the service bulletin out, I think it was like September of 2015, so it's been a while, and it lasted for 10 years. So unfortunately, because this is a 2008, I can no longer go to the dealer and get it fixed for free. I will have to do it myself. Luckily though, GM did make an improved replacement part that shouldn't fail, and they're not terribly expensive. They're only about 100, 110 bucks. So I have the part ordered, it is coming in. I know what I have to do in order to replace the part. It doesn't seem too bad of a process, at least it's a lot easier than replacing the throwout bearing or the slave cylinder. We'll see if that's actually the culprit. My fingers are crossed, I hope it is. I mean, all arrows are pointing to this being the problem. We'll just have to see. So that's my super fun story on the second day of Corvette ownership. If you have a C5 or a C6 Corvette and you had a similar issue, feel free to let me know down in the comments. I'm curious how many people out there are actually having the same issues as me, and if what I think is going to be the fix is actually the fix. And as always, thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like and consider subscribing for more automotive and motorcycle content. Take care, everyone.